Hey boys and girls, this week we're going to be looking at some throwing and catching skills. I want you, if you possibly have a ball at home of any of these sort of balls, or even a pair of your dad's socks, maybe an orange or an apple if mum let you, I want you to go and grab something that you can throw and catch, and then I want you to come back to this video. Boys and girls, so we're going to be looking at throwing and catching. A few things that I want you to think about when throwing and catching. One, I want you to set yourself a bit of a goal. Do you want to catch 10 balls in a row without dropping? Do you want to do 50, 60, and so on? However many I'd like you to do, I want you to set yourself a little bit of target. The next thing I want you to do is set yourself up in an area where you can throw and catch the ball without sort of bumping into anything, so you're nice and safe, all right? And the last thing I want you to do is focus your eyes on whatever target you're throwing. If you're throwing a small tennis ball like I am, if you maybe have a beanbag or a larger ball, then I want you to fix your eyes onto your target, and that's really what I want you to do. Catching. Okay, so catching is important for so many sports and also just a fantastic skill to have. In order to catch, you need to do two things for me. The first one is your eyes have to be fixated on whatever you're trying to catch. At the moment, I'm trying to catch my tennis ball. I'm going to make sure that I'm always fixed on my tennis ball, okay? The next thing you have to do is you have to make sure that when you are catching, your hands are ready. What I mean by that, if I come a little bit closer, when my hands are ready, they're going to be in a position a little bit like I'm trying to scoop up some water, okay? I'm going to have them ready to catch the ball. And when the ball comes to me, I'm going to bring it into my chest. So if I get my ball out, I throw it up, I'm going to catch the ball and bring it into my chest. I'm using my chest as a bit of a backboard to stop the ball from falling out in front of me. Keeping my eyes on the ball, holding the ball nice and tight when it comes into my hands and bringing it into my chest. All right, so eyes on the ball, bring it into your chest and squeeze it nice and tight on the way down. If you're using a tennis ball, sometimes you might find that the ball bounces out of your hands. If it does that, your hands are probably too flat. I want you to cup your hands a little bit more, and as the ball comes into your hands, I want you to squeeze it nice and tight, ready to catch. Now, if you're using different objects, like a ball, like this, the same rules apply, however, you don't necessarily have your hands as close together. So I'm going to keep my eyes on the ball. However, this time I'm going to use my whole arms to catch the ball. I'm not just going to use my hands, all right? I'm going to use my whole body, my whole arms to bring it in front of my chest. Making sure you keep your eyes on the ball the whole time, all right? What I want you to do now, whether you have a large ball or a smaller ball, or your dad's pair of socks, I want you to set yourself a little bit of a target of something that you can do. How many throws do you want to do in a row? Do you want to do 10? Do you want to do 20? And so on. I want you to set yourself a little bit of a target, go and give that a go. And once you do that, I want you to set yourself another target and give that a go as well. What we're going to do is we're going to challenge ourselves a little bit, okay? Whether you have a large ball or a smaller ball, you can still try this. It's going to be a little bit harder with the big ball, but you still give it a go. I've got my hacky sack for this one. Now what I want you to do is put your hand behind your back, hold your ball in or hacky sack in one hand, or your pair of socks, and I want you to throw and catch in one hand, exactly the same with the skills that I taught you before. Eyes on the target, keeping your hand nice and tight when it comes into your hand, and bring it into your chest, all right? Then you can swap hands, all right? You can swap hands, try it on the other hand, maybe try 10, 12 times. You could keep both hands out in front, and you can alternate from one hand to the other. You could even challenge yourself a little bit more by turning around. You could throw it, turn around, throw it, turn around. You could see if you can get a full 360 in at the same time. Challenge yourself a little bit more. Keep your eyes on the target. Squeeze it nice and tight. Now, for those boys and girls who are pretty good at throwing and catching already, or those few who are just learning and they want to challenge themselves a little bit, I want you to set yourself a target with a certain number of how many throws and catches you can do in a row without dropping. If you are already a good thrower and a catcher, I would like you to set yourself a target of about 100, maybe for one day. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can do that as well. Lastly, boys and girls, I would love to see your videos of your throwing and catching ability. Maybe if you have conquered 500 throws in the week, I want you to send me a video, send me a photo of you throwing and catching, and I'll put it onto our Schoolbox PE page, and we can let everyone else find out as well. Have a great week and stay active. All right, boys and girls, so we're going to be... this is online learning at the moment.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Whether that...